Have you ever felt drained, manipulated, or constantly doubting yourself after spending time with someone? You might be dealing with a toxic person without even realizing it. The worst part? Toxic people don't always show their true colors right away. They blend in, pretending to be your friend, your supporter, even your well-wisher. But behind the mask, they're slowly poisoning your peace, stealing your energy, and controlling your life. If you don't recognize them early, they can destroy your confidence, your happiness, and even your future. But don't worry. Today, you'll learn the 10 critical signs of a toxic person and how to protect yourself before it's too late. 1. They constantly play the victim. Toxic people have a unique way of twisting reality to make themselves appear as the victim in every situation. No matter what happens, they always find a way to shift the blame onto someone else. If they hurt you, they'll say it was your fault for misunderstanding them. If they fail at something, they'll claim that the world was against them. Their problems are never the result of their own actions, but rather the cruelty or unfairness of others. At first, you may feel bad for them. They tell heartbreaking stories of betrayal, misfortune, and injustice. They make you believe that everyone has wronged them: friends, family, co-workers, even strangers. You might even start sympathizing with them, offering comfort and trying to fix their problems. But over time, a pattern emerges. No matter how much you support them, nothing changes. They always find themselves in the same situations, suffering the same problems, and blaming everyone but themselves. The dangerous part? This constant victim mentality can trap you emotionally. You may start walking on eggshells, afraid to upset them. You may begin to question yourself, wondering if you really did something wrong. This is how toxic people manipulate and control those around them. They seek sympathy, not solutions. A person who refuses to take responsibility for their actions will never grow, never improve, and never truly appreciate the people who try to help them. The best way to deal with someone like this? Set boundaries. Recognize that you are not responsible for fixing their problems. You can be kind, but you don't have to be their emotional dumping ground. 2. They drain your energy with constant negativity. Have you ever spent time with someone and felt completely exhausted afterward? Like they sucked the life out of you? That's the effect toxic people have. They are constantly complaining, criticizing, and focusing on everything that's wrong with the world. No matter how good the situation is, they will find something negative to say. At first, you might try to help them see the bright side. You might encourage them, offer solutions, or try to shift the conversation towards something positive. But it never works. Their negativity isn't a phase, it's a personality trait. They don't want solutions. They want to stay in their bubble of misery. The worst part? Their negativity is contagious. The more time you spend around them, the more their toxic energy seeps into your own mind. You start seeing problems where there are none. You start feeling drained, uninspired, and even resentful. And before you know it, your mindset starts shifting toward negativity too. Protecting yourself from these people is crucial. You don't have to cut them off entirely, but you must limit your exposure. If every conversation with them leaves you feeling worse, it's time to step back. Surround yourself with people who uplift, inspire, and push you to be better. Your energy is valuable. Don't waste it on someone who thrives on darkness. 3. They manipulate you to get what they want. Toxic people are master manipulators. They know exactly what to say, how to act, and which emotional buttons to press to get their way. They might use guilt, playing the victim, or even flattery to control you. And the worst part? Most of the time, you don't even realize it's happening. At first, they may seem kind and charming, making you feel special. But soon, their true nature reveals itself. They twist your words, gaslight you into questioning your own reality, and make you feel guilty for things that aren't even your fault. If you ever say no to them or set a boundary, they act like you're the bad guy. Suddenly, you're the one feeling sorry and trying to make things right, even when you did nothing wrong. Manipulative people never take responsibility for their actions. If they hurt you, they'll make it seem like it was your fault. If they don't get what they want, they'll make you feel like you're being selfish or unkind. The truth is, they only care about themselves, and they will use every trick in the book to control you. The only way to protect yourself from manipulators is to recognize their tactics and refuse to play their game. Pay attention to how you feel around someone. If you constantly feel confused, guilty, or emotionally drained, it's a sign that they're manipulating you. Stand firm, set clear boundaries, and don't let anyone make you feel bad for prioritizing your own well-being. 4. They never take responsibility for their actions. One of the most frustrating traits of a toxic person is their complete inability to take responsibility for their mistakes. No matter what happens, it's never their fault. If something goes wrong, they'll blame their boss, their parents, their friends, or even you. Anyone but themselves. They refuse to acknowledge their own flaws and always find a way to shift the blame onto others. Have you ever had an argument with someone who twisted the entire situation around and somehow made you feel guilty, even when they were the one in the wrong? That's exactly what toxic people do. If they hurt you, they'll say you're too sensitive. If they break a promise, they'll insist you misunderstood. If they fail at something, they'll blame circumstances, other people, or even bad luck, never themselves. This lack of accountability is dangerous because it means they never change. If a person refuses to admit their mistakes, how can they ever grow or improve? The truth is, they don't want to change. They would rather live in denial than face the reality of their own actions. You cannot force someone to take responsibility if they refuse to do so. The best thing you can do is recognize this toxic pattern and distance yourself. You deserve to be surrounded by people who are honest, accountable, and willing to grow, not those who constantly make excuses and drag you down with them. 5. They constantly play the victim. Toxic people have a way of making everything about them. No matter what happens, they always find a way to portray themselves as the victim. Even when they're clearly in the wrong, they'll twist the story to make it seem like they were the one who was hurt, betrayed, or misunderstood. You'll often hear them say things like, "No one ever appreciates me. People always take advantage of me. I try so hard, but the world is against me." At first, you might feel sympathy for them. After all, everyone goes through hard times. But with toxic people, you'll start to notice a pattern. They always have a sob story. Every relationship they've had, every job they've left, every opportunity they've missed, it was never their fault. It was always someone else who wronged them. This mindset is incredibly manipulative. By playing the victim, they make you feel guilty for holding them accountable. If you call them out on their toxic behavior, they'll accuse you of being heartless or unsupportive. They use their victim status to control and manipulate others, making you feel responsible for their happiness. But here's the truth. Life is tough for everyone. Strong, mature people take responsibility for their problems and work through them. Toxic people, on the other hand, use their struggles as an excuse to avoid growth and accountability. The best way to deal with someone who constantly plays the victim? Set boundaries. Don't let their guilt-tripping affect you. It's not your job to fix them, and you don't owe them endless emotional support, especially when they refuse to help themselves. 6. They are highly manipulative. Toxic people are masters of manipulation. They know exactly how to twist situations, distort the truth, and play on your emotions to get what they want. They use subtle tactics like guilt-tripping, gaslighting, and passive-aggressive behavior to control you, without you even realizing it. One moment, they might shower you with praise and kindness, making you feel special and valued. But as soon as they need something, their tone changes. If you refuse to do what they want, they suddenly become cold, distant, or even aggressive. They'll say things like, "After everything I've done for you, this is how you treat me. I guess I just care more about this friendship than you do. If you really loved me, you would do this for me." This kind of emotional blackmail is a classic manipulation tactic. They create a sense of obligation, making you feel like you owe them something, when in reality, they're just using you for their own benefit. Even worse, they might gaslight you, making you question your own memory or perception. They'll deny things they've said, twist your words, or make you feel like you're overreacting. Before you know it, you're constantly second-guessing yourself, wondering if you're the problem. The best way to handle a manipulative person? Trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. Set firm boundaries, and don't let them guilt-trip you into doing things you're uncomfortable with. True friends and healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, not manipulation.